Yeah, I mean, I think we're making progress. Anybody that's been following us knows how difficult our schedule was this year, or has been, our non-conference schedule has been. And we've gone through the ups and downs of that. I think we've competed well in most of the games. And I do feel like we're on an upward trajectory right now. I think, the latter half of November, now into December, we are playing better. I think you can see our team starting to gain confidence. Starting to understand the chemistry that they need to have together on the floor. We're figuring out our rotations. So it's definitely been a work in progress, but again, I think we're making that progress.
When you go back and look on film, taking those steps forward each and every game, what stands out the most in those kind of positive steps forward?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just the strides we're making offensively. I've said this about this team. I think we have the ability to be a really good defensive team. Now, we've played some teams that are just tremendous on the offensive end. North Carolina, Iowa State. I mean, even St. John's is a really good offensive team who we beat. So that we've been challenged on the defensive end, there's no doubt. But I think the biggest, areas of improvement we needed to have are offensively. And I think, again, when you watch us on film and you watch the last few games compared to maybe our first 4 games, you can see a tremendous difference. Just the kids playing off each other, knowing where they're going to be, making cuts, making reads, reading the defense better. And we still have a ways to go, but, like I said, we're making progress.
How much of that starts with J-Mac, with her 13 assists at Gardner-Webb? She had 6 or 8 last time out at West Virginia. Her getting into that true point guard role and being able to kind of spread things around.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now a lot of people look at J-Mac and they're like, well, she's not playing as well as she was last year. Well, she's not scoring, the same as last year. But when you look at, I think she almost is up to 40 assists on the year. You look at the way that she's moving our offense, sharing the ball, creating for others. That's ultimately what J-Mac is best at. Last year she became a scorer because she had to become a scorer based on our needs and what we needed. Certainly would like her to be able to knock down a few more shots than she is right now. But really, that's not what's hurting us. I mean, she's got to continue to be our floor general. She has to set the tone, set the pace. When she does that, we're a better team.
How nice is it to see if 1 or 2 of your starters are struggling, you've got the other 3 that are stepping up and putting in the points, pulling down the rebounds, and kind of taking the lead for that.
Yeah, I think that's important for us. We have depth in terms of our offensive ability as a team. The West Virginia game is a great example. They put their best defender on Octavia. I mean, they did not get a centimeter of light in that game from the way that they played her, which people are going to play her like that. She's the best player in our league. But what I told Tay is she was never out of the game. She played well defensively. She kept trying to find her shot. She kept playing hard. And then you have somebody like Michaela who's able to step up really big for us, in the second half. Jada had a good first half, scoring in that game. And you look at our team a year ago, and if Tay had that type of offensive performance, we don't have a chance to win that game. Well, we within 3, with 5 minutes to go at West Virginia because of the ability of the rest of our squad.
Exam week this week, what are some of the challenges with maybe a practice schedule or something that, people on the outside don't see when the student part of student athlete comes into play for the girls?
Well, I think this exam week has been really difficult because, and we were talking about this as a coaching staff, our players really haven't had an exam week in a while, right? Because of COVID, exams were different. And, I think this is the first time in quite a while that they've actually had, back-to-back exams, everything stacked. This is what, when we were in school, we were used to, and maybe they were, as a freshman or sophomore, but you get out of that routine. And so I do think it's been difficult. We've given them a couple extra days off because, we've practiced a little bit, and I can just see, their mental fatigue as much as physical fatigue. We have time, so, we want them to be able to finish well in school.
What do you see on film about Davidson going into next week's game here at home?
I mean, they're going to be a tough guard. I mean, I think the thing about them is they have, so many players that can do multiple things. Most of their roster can shoot the 3. And if you switch on people, they're really good at going down and posting up. They have some, just really good offensive players. I think their best offensive players out right now, so be curious to see if she'll be back by next week. And then they play a lot. They play a few more games this week, so we have some time to obviously keep scouting them and observing them and kind of see how they look different throughout the week. But Charlotte Davidson game is always it's a rivalry. We know what it is. We enjoy playing them. I think they enjoy playing us. We expect to get their best.
What are you looking to see in that game as conference play is literally knocking on the door the following week?
For me, it would be, what I would like to see is just to get 40 minutes together of a great game. I don't think we've been there yet. We've had moments where we've played really well. I think the St. John's game is the closest, where I think we played probably a good 30, 32 minutes. There were some moments in that third quarter of that game where I don't think we played as well as we could have, but, we haven't done that consistently. So, finishing our non-conference on a high note, of course you want to win, but we want to play well. We want to play well, put, a great offensive showing, a great defensive showing together, 40 minutes.
Coach, so just talk about Montgomery McGraw's performance against West Virginia. 5-5 comes in, and obviously keep you your starter, but what to you does it mean to know that you got a backup that can come in, produce at a very high level at Maya did?
Yeah, I'm proud of Maya. I mean, it's been a process for her, like any freshman, but she's stayed the course, and she's continued to get better, and when we really needed her, she was ready, and so that's a big credit to her. We felt like in that game, or at least I felt like in that game, it was a good matchup for her. I mean, we have played some teams this year where, all 5 players are out on the perimeter and shooting threes and driving, and, that's not where she thrives. I mean, she's a true back-to-the-basket post player, and, West Virginia had those types of players. So, I thought she came in, I thought she competed. I mean, obviously really helped us on the offensive end and stepped up. But, I think what maybe others didn't see is she was great defensively. I mean, West Virginia thrives on their high-low game, and she consistently played that very well. In fact, they had to really go away from that. So I'm proud of her.
And at least since the last time I've had a chance to talk to you, Cameron Roach has been inserted back in the lineup from injury. What does having her out there do, as far as floor spacing? She can really knock down the three well.
Yeah.
So what does it do to allow KP and people in the middle to score well too?
Yeah, Cameron missing our first, several games was tough for us, and I think, people didn't know that, but we knew that as a coaching staff. I mean, we brought her here to contribute and to be a big part of what we're doing. And when she missed those games, it was difficult. And, I think since she's gotten back into the rotation, into the lineup, she's another one that's just getting better and better. I mean, she's still got a ways to go. I mean, she's not in the condition she needs to be in with all the time that she had off. She's still learning on the go. I mean, literally we're throwing her in and I'm calling a play that she hasn't repped yet, so there's still a lot that she needs to do. But, even with that said, I mean, she makes us better on the court because of her ability to shoot the ball. She also has great playmaking ability, and that will continue to come even better. Again, as she gets in better shape, as she understands, our offense and our reads and her teammates. But she makes us better all the way around.
So you mentioned a lot how you make the schedule, you make it tough for a reason. So clearly 3-5 isn't truly indicative of how talented this team is. But has the message changed at all? With just a few games left in the non-conference heading into what's going to be a tough conference slate.
No, I mean, our message remains the same. Let's stay the course. Let's try to get better every day. The biggest thing when, you're playing a tough schedule and you've dropped a couple that, you wish you wouldn't have dropped is just keeping our kids confident and positive. I mean, that's the most important thing, and that's what I've focused on as a head coach. I know we're a good team. And I'm not worried about our record. But, young people, sometimes it's harder for them to see that. And so it's really, again, just important to keep building their confidence, to keep everybody positive, to know that, if we keep going the direction we're going, we're going to be just fine.